Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on at Disney Plus, and it's time for our weekly Q&A. So thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we've got some live people in the comments here. So I can see we've got Dana and Kayla. So if you can hear me, let me know in the comments. So this is our weekly Q&A, and Patreon and YouTube channel members have been able to submit questions in advance. We've got quite a lot of questions today. YouTube channel members can also submit questions in the live chat as well, and you can join in with the conversation. Also, if you aren't a member, you can do so to ask questions, but also you can use the super chat function as well to kind of ask questions. And basically all of this is about kind of all becoming a member and like the super chat, etc., all just help support the channel, supporting everything that goes on over at What's on at Disney Plus. So as you can see, there's apparently a little bit of static, so I'll just see there, see if that's any better. Is that it might just be a little bit of things, but don't know why there would be any static. Hopefully, is that better? Hope so. So it's definitely, yeah, looks like it's all there. Yeah, so just let me know if the audio is okay. That's always a good thing. So as I said, we've got a lot of questions this week, and I can see we've got quite a few people already in the live chat. Nice to see that. Is it Caleb? You were shoveling leftover ice. Yeah, that's definitely too cold. Definitely not good at all. Don't like the snow. Right. So what we'll do is we're going to do as we do normally. We go through and kind of go through the ones that have been sent in advance, in addition to then joining in with live questions as well. So feel free to jump them in. I also always like to start with the main question that is the title of the show. So today, Caleb asks, Hulu has been promoting their live TV service much more than usual. Once Disney has full control, could you see it being live TV streaming service only being launched outside the UK? So could you see Hulu Live TV being launched outside the US? And my answer to this is no. I think this is very much a US situation. I know here in the United Kingdom, live streaming bundles aren't a thing. I don't think they don't even exist. You can watch live streaming of like Now TV if you're a member of it. But generally, it's not really a thing here. You can watch like BBC Live or something, but it's just built into the subscription. There's no one big streaming platform where you can stream all the different channels. They've not got any deals like that in place. Yeah, it's definitely. I think for me, yeah, I think Hulu Live is just a US situation, and that's what I think Hulu's going to live on for a little bit. Even if they sort out whatever they're doing with Hulu and Disney Plus, I imagine Hulu might live on as like the live TV function. So you can see here, Zero Fan Productions said, "What's up? Just become a channel member." Thank you very much. That's always good to do. And thank you also to Knoxwave97. Thank you very much for becoming a member. And yeah, that's always a great thing. Thank you very much for your support. And Josh has said he doesn't like the snow either. I tend to slip on the ice or reenact a humpback well diving. Yeah, you don't tend to get a lot of ice here where I live, so that's a good thing. And if it is, it's a bit too nasty. Go out. I'm going to have a few other Hulu questions since we're on the topic. Too Big Road said it was predicted that Disney would buy Comcast stake in Hulu in 2022 instead of 2024. How does that legally work? So I don't know legally how it's all going to work, but generally what it is the deal was in place that by 2024, either Disney or Comcast can force the other ones to be brought out by, and the value will be done by an independent party. However, there's no reason why, and it's probably in the contract, that they can't negotiate early. So if they come to an agreement, maybe they say, look, we'll give you this much. It's like with anything. If you're going to be paying for it, you can probably get around it. So that's how legally they'll get around it. So there's definitely, definitely things. Knoxwave said, I hope Hulu will release in international countries. In all honesty, Knoxwave, trying to say that, sorry. There's no real reason for them to launch Hulu internationally. Right now, we've got on Disney Plus internationally, we've got all the Star content, which is the majority of the stuff that would be on Hulu anyway. In Latin America, they've got Star Plus, which basically is like Hulu and ESPN kind of merged together a little bit. And in like a lot of countries where they like Disney Plus Hotstar. So there really is just no reason for them to launch Hulu internationally. And Josh has just said last time I heard they were in some kind of arbitration to try and figure out the value of the See, it has to be done by an independent company. That's the key thing. And I also just want to say a big thank you to Ben for being a member for 12 months. Thank you so much for your support over the last year. Really, that's just fantastic. Thank you so much. Dana asks, when Disney finally does do a buyout of Comcast Hulu's portion, do you think Disney will try to get distribution rights to Hulk movies or any other movie or TV rights that Comcast have? Now, I think this will be separate, but I imagine Comcast seem to be quite happy to sell their content to anyone that will pay them. You know, they recently announced this week a deal with Discovery Plus. So I think as long as if Disney's willing to pay for it, I think Comcast is probably willing to sell it. I think that's definitely a way to move forward. Joshua also said, I would consider that it would cost too much to try and increase the brand awareness of Hulu since no one really knows what it is. That's the thing. There's just no reason for it. That's why they went with Star, because there was no, and I think they've already worked out that there's no reason to launch Hulu anywhere else yet. Okay, moving on here. So there's quite a few questions. So I'm going to run through some of the ones here. So Steve said, is there any confirmation of when to Secrets of Sofa Springs Season 2 is coming to Disney Plus in the UK? Not on the UK yet. Just read this morning on the D23 website that it's supposed to be coming in the United States this coming Wednesday. So I hopefully at some point that we will get confirmation. I'm expecting the UK February list to come out in the next week, and then I would expect also I would expect it to be pretty soon. If it's dropping onto the US this week, it does definitely increase the rate. Arrow said, what do you think will be Chapek's first big announcements to make clear he's in lead and that officially Liger has left? I think I wouldn't be at all surprised if at any given point if they announced a deal with Comcast for Hulu. I think that would be a big one. I think with regards to big announcements, I'm not sure if there's going to be anything big this year, like in the same way that we've had. I feel like 2022 is all about just getting back on track. That's the main thing. Getting cinemas back moving, getting the box office going, getting the cruises going properly, getting the parks everything back to some kind of normality. So I'm not sure. I think the big announcements will be, maybe some stuff at like Star Wars Celebration. He might announce a new show or do something there, or a new ride or something. But yeah, I think he might be just holding back for D23 to Expo and announce some fun stuff coming to the parks and to celebrate the 100th anniversary. I don't know, what he can really sort of. It doesn't feel like we're in a position right now to be doing acquisitions or anything like that. It doesn't seem quite right. Also want to say hello to Matt. Thank you very much for becoming a YouTube member. Glad that you were able to sort that one. Yeah, it was a little bit of a funny one with that one, trying to get you in. I think it was on the mobile app, the join option. So Dana said, so just finished the podcast, and on the subject, which we put up yesterday, by the way, and on the subject of Eternals, I agree on less characters. What do you think Disney Plus series would be better to explore each character more? I would like to see them. I do actually think Eternals might have worked better as a series, like to give them longer to stretch out those characters a bit. We said on the podcast yesterday that a few of the characters, there were so many of them, they didn't have time to elaborate. I think maybe if they were doing Eternals now, they might do that. But I think at the time, they obviously were thinking of the next big movie and stuff. So, yeah, I definitely feel like that would be a way of kind of them doing it if they were doing it now. Dana also said, I think a Disney Plus series of the X-Men would be better than a movie, as you can explore each character more. Do you think Marvel will introduce them all being from the same universe or whatever? I think with X-Men, I'm going to say forget everything we've known before. I know they've been toying with it with like Spider-Man and WandaVision, but I think they're going to start fresh. I think they'll probably start with a movie, build up the main core characters like Xavier and stuff, and then you can extend out to series after you've done the initial debut. Get Wolverine and Xavier and all the rest of it. Yeah, so that's definitely what I feel would be a better way of doing it. Steve said, is there a particular Disney Plus Star original show and movie that you're looking forward to seeing on Disney Plus in 2022? There's a lot. I mean, that little sneak trailer of Moonlight definitely got me much more excited about that one. We're going to get that trailer tomorrow. There's so many shows coming up. I don't think we're getting Shogun this year. I think that might be a little bit more. I'm looking forward to Prey, which is the Predator movie, and Turning Red. Turning Red looks a lot of fun. But all the Marvel and Star Wars shows, I mean, they're just ones that I'm definitely looking forward to watching. Just jumping in here. So Matt asks, now to see them do Western TV series. Is that regard to a Western, as in like Young Guns? Because it's actually kind of funny because we did actually there is another question. I'm going to just bring this one up at the same time. And Dana asks, do you think Disney Plus should do a Western show? So if that's what your relation to, I would love that. I think that would be a great way. I don't know if it's going to do it as a kids show, but something a bit more adult, like a proper Western. I think that would be kind of pretty cool. There's not a lot of them around right now, so that might be a way of them doing it. But yeah, I mean, I've never watched a huge amount of Westerns, so I think I definitely think that would be a great way of doing that. Would be to have some Western movies coming in. Let's jump here back into the live chat, see what we've got here. So Josh has said, I've just read that Disney were trying to get a new Zoro project started, and then recently I think CW are trying to do the same, but a gender swap. Yeah, so the Disney did announce that they're doing a Zoro project, a Zoro project, and I will be probably, they haven't said where it'll be on Disney, but I'm gathering it'll be on Disney Plus. And then CW are doing the same thing, but as you said, with a gender swap one. I think CW is probably going to go in a little bit more like teenage action kind of superhero line. I don't know where Disney's going to line on this one. I'm not so keen, to be honest, on them just doing a gender swap for the sake of it. I think we've seen that a lot in TV series and movies, and it doesn't necessarily always work. You know, it depends on what the characters are like. But for me, I think, you know, they've got to watch how they do this. Especially with well-known characters like Zoro. But yeah, so I definitely could see why there's some things on there why they're doing it. Let's see here. We've got, actually, I think there was another question about Zoro. That Zoro, where has he put it? I'm trying to see it. Here we go. Zoro Fan Productions. I knew it was something to do with Zoro. And what are your thoughts on Real Steel being revived? I am also looking forward to watching Zoro. What are your thoughts on it compared to the 1957 show? So with regards to Real Steel, I've never seen the movie, so I'm coming into this completely fresh. So I've not really got any thoughts on it because it's a bit like a show about boxing fight. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm quite happy with that. I'm glad they're doing something that's not Marvel or Star Wars, so why not do that one? So I'm quite neutral on it. As far as Zoro, I enjoyed the movies with Antonio Banderas. I've never watched the 1957 show. Maybe if they put it on, eventually when they put it on Disney Plus, I might watch it. But up till now, it's not really high on something. I'm not very good at watching older shows like that, unless I have to. Steve said recently Disney Plus released a documentary, The Beatles Get Back. But what musical artists would you like to see Disney Plus do a documentary on? So I would like maybe like Elton John or Queen, something along those lines. Elvis, I think Elvis could be a lot of fun. That could be really cool. Or the Beach Boys. So let's do some live ones, see what we've got in here. So Ben said, I like the idea of a Wolverine anthology series with a complete season each time with the same actor playing Wolverine, with a different time period and a new cast. Love that idea. Love that idea. Because you could really, and also I think like if you did it like an anthology series, you could also set it like 100 to 300 years, maybe not quite so far back, away from the current time zone, so you can kind of flesh out the character a little bit. Knox Wave said, I really hope the High School Musical season 3 was better than season 2. Are you excited for season 3? I think season 2 kind of dimmed my expectations and my excitement for the show because it was so flat. It just didn't go anywhere. And I think a lot of that was COVID. So season 3, and it's going to have to be good to kind of really kind of keep my attention going on that one. So that's not so good. Let's see what else we've got here. Knoxwave also says, what do you think of Netflix raising their prices again? I was expecting it. I think all streaming services they're all gonna slowly creep up in price. It's inflation, you know, costs going up, you know, production, making more shows, making more movies. You've also got just in general like wage costs going up, the price of property goes up. having been like in business for like 25, 30 years, prices go up every year. Nothing really goes down. I know a lot of people like to think, but generally the only things that go down are sales stuff that was like, that hasn't sold. Generally prices just go up. Joe said, I'm hoping How I Met Your Father comes to Disney Plus in the UK and Ireland, hopefully in February. It is very disappointing that we didn't get it at the same time as America, which is this week. I mean, they could still announce it as a last minute thing, hoping that we get it at least, or do something. I have seen the first 4 episodes. It's a fun little sitcom. Needs a little bit of work, but it is a fun series. So I'm hoping they do get an announcement pretty soon. And it would be nice to get it alongside the US, but that's definitely an issue. Kayla said, was watching a video the other day that they mentioned that Disney parks used to carry both Pepsi and Coke until the 1980s. When Coke signed an exclusive deal, I love watching History of Disney. Do you know what? I watched the same one? Was it Theme Park Facts? Because or I don't think it was Defunctland, but I did watch this exact same video, so I know which one you're talking about. It is funny how they used to kind of be separate, because I think, didn't they say like in Shanghai it's still being run by also Pepsi have still got it. I really enjoy these documentaries. I mean, I think I watched like a Defunctland video a couple of weeks ago. It's like a 2-hour one about FastPass. So definitely I'm completely in on that one there. Matt says, thank you for your help. Yeah, thank you so much for just becoming a member. It really means a lot. Joe says, has there any been news on when Dole Face season 2 will be coming to Disney Plus? Nothing yet. I mean, they only just released a trailer this week. Hopefully we will find out soon from the UK side what's going on, and internationally it feels like we're I don't know, if like the holiday season, everything just kind of like seemed to stop and kind of get things moving along. So hopefully we get these things confirmed pretty soon. Josh has said, I think in Eternals the next film will involve them that they may have died, coming almost right back, as in the comics. Once they died, then almost immediately came back. Plus, they mentioned the Forge. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if they would want to reboot them. I mean, they suppose they could do that with Icarus. Barbara Troy said, do Disney own movies everywhere? I know. Yeah, I think they own the Disney movies anywhere. Thing that they do in the US. Internationally, they don't. They don't tend to do it. It's only in the US. I think they do that system. Steven says, still no antlers yet. West Side Story save Easter. Yeah, I don't know why we haven't had antlers yet. I know in Australia we've had it. I think they've been experimenting with like the release schedules of releasing things digitally to see if they can get some money back. Yeah, West Side Story for Easter. I think that might be a bit late. I mean, maybe March, I would imagine. I mean, it's not doing very. I mean, it's not really firing up all cylinders on sort of at the cinema. So yeah, Easter maybe. I mean, it depends when Easter is. Not quite sure when it is yet. Joshua said, interesting thing, there was a link between Moonlight and Black Panther, with both of the heroes' patrons being Egyptian mythology. Do you think they will meet up? Maybe. I think the trouble is with Black Panther is, I suppose it depends on how they've got to sort out what they're doing with that character, like long term, before they can do it. And Kaylee said, if DreamWorks Television was still around, I believe they would get studio credit for the probably if they've still got the rights and stuff. I know DreamWorks were involved, but Disney did the distribution for the Real Steel movie. Steven said, what thought Cow Justice new series? What you thought of? I'm not quite sure what is Cow. Let me know what Cow Justice is. I don't know what that one is. Matt said, I like theme to make more original ideas than reboots of old IP. We're getting lots of reboots. I like to see some fresh ideas. Totally. I do think Disney Plus is relying way too much on like nostalgia and old IPs to kind of bring things forward. I mean, it just doesn't feel like we've got a lot going. There is some stuff in the pipeline, but it definitely, I know for me, like if I put out an article or a video about something new, it doesn't get a lot of movement. It's only, but if I put out something that people already know about, it gets a lot of movement and a lot of interest. So definitely feel like it just gets more attention, and it's horrible to say, but I really wish we got more original stuff. It does seem like the Hulu, the adult side, is much more willing to do it. But when it comes to big blockbusters, they're just very playing it safe, which is a shame. All right, let's do some of the other questions. Right, here we go. So Connor asks, do you think that Walt Disney Animation Studios' Strange World will be a cinema exclusive or a Disney Plus original due to Raya and Kanto not doing so well at the box office? Well, I think this is the big Thanksgiving movie, so I am 100% sure it's going to be going to cinemas first. I think they are going to go back to that routine of getting things on there. Yeah, I've got no doubt that will be going to cinema. How long it's there is different. But, I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they do the same thing, get it onto Disney Plus for Christmas. But, yeah, no, I do think that that they'll do it that way around. Let's see here. Right. So Steve said, if you didn't do what's on Disney Plus, would you still be watching the new episodes of certain shows weekly, or would you have waited to binge them all at once? I definitely would have been subscribed for the Marvel and the Star Wars series. I would have been watching them as they go along. I'll be honest, I probably in year one, I might have ended up unsubscribing when The Mandalorian finished. I might not have come back for a while because there wasn't really a lot on there for at least like 6 months that I probably would have watched. There are a lot of Disney Plus originals I probably wouldn't have watched had it not been for doing the website. I will 100% agree with that one. I have a kind of a thing where I like to watch all the originals. I like to watch at least one episode anyway. Same thing really with the Star originals. I do even a series. I just trying to keep so I know what's going on. But there's definitely, I don't know about binging. I'm not. While I do a little bit of binging, I think with Marvel and Star Wars it would have kept me engaged, and I would have done it like that. I don't know. I have kind of got to that point now, I think, with some shows where what I know if I've watched an episode or two and I didn't like it, I won't carry on just for the sake of it. Like I maybe would have done like a year or so ago. I think I've got a little bit more. There's so many Star originals and stuff. There's just not need to do that anymore. Dana said, with the success of Hawkeye, I loved the show, so did I. Do you think that Marvel will try and make a Kate Bishop and Yelena buddy type show, or resurrecting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? So if we'll do the Bishop and Yelena, I think they could do it. I think that would be a great way of kind of doing that story and giving them a little bit of a thing to move forward. But as far as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm still a bit miffed that they've kind of like retconned that. I understand once they went off and did the time jump that it kind of made the series like disconnected, but I definitely feel like those first 2 seasons were so connected. The first what was it? We had the Nick Fury in there, we had Sif in there, we also had the event after Dark World was connected. We also even had the whole thing with the shift to Hydra. It was just really, I think, once they got into the Inhumans and then went off onto that planet, and once they went into space, that was when the show no longer was connected to the movies. But yeah, but I wouldn't mind them kind of doing something along those lines. Too Big Rose said, how come new movies like Ron's Gone Wrong and Canto and Eternals don't have any extras like deleted scenes? I'm guessing they want you to buy the DVD and the Blu-ray and all the rest of it. And also, it depends how many people are watching this stuff. I mean, they might now be getting proper like stats telling you what's going on. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple more of these quick ones. So Steve said, with the news this week that Santa Claus and Real Steel are getting Disney Plus series, what other Disney movie would you like to see turned into a series? I think, as we said, maybe wouldn't like to do them something else. My first thought would be maybe John Carter. That would be quite a fun one to continue that story going forward. My light is flickering a little bit. Yeah, so John Carter would be one. I wouldn't mind Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know about anything. I'm trying to think what else they could do. Tron would be great. Tron would be amazing to have that. Let's jump into the live one, see what we've got going on here. Steve said, I meant CW Justice. Oh, is that the CW stuff? Yes, it's an upcoming spin-off of the Arrow by the CW. I'm going to be honest, I've completely just lost track of what's going on in the Arrowverse. I stopped watching about season 4 of Arrow and just got, So no, I don't honestly have a clue what's going on in there. Sorry. And I think especially with the Marvel series the last year or so, there's just had like no reason to do that at all. Barbara said I want Disney to get Newsmax. Is that not a news channel in the US? I don't know. I've never seen Newsmax. Zoro said I think they should make at least one pilot episode of Zoro series. That way we can get an idea. They don't tend to show you pilots until they know what they're doing. They don't tend to do that. The pilots are more for them. Joe said, watch. I'm just going to turn my light on and off a minute. There we go. Watch Scream this weekend. It was great. The kills were brutal and the scares were good. It has to be my favorite movie of January so far. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying good things about it. I mean, I've seen the first two, but I'm not a huge lover of scary movies. Also, just a big hello to Jason Frost. Thank you very much for becoming a new member. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for that one. Kayla said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended properly, so I don't see it being brought back. Would like to see Chloe reprise her Rose. Yeah, that would be really good. I think Quake was she was one of the best characters in there. I think they did well with season 7. Did you see? Yeah, I did actually watch. I watched season 6 and 7 when they dropped onto Disney Plus here in the UK. I think it was last year. I still think like season 2, maybe. I think that was the one where they flipped over with the main one really with Hydra. That was the best season, I think, when it was a little bit more grounded. Matt said, I would like to see more science fiction other than Star Wars. What are your thoughts? 100% agree. I love the science fiction stuff, and I would love them to do a lot more of it. Bubba said, R.I.P. Bob Saget. Yeah. Okay. Stephen also said, Kingsman rubbish walk gone out so far now. Is that the new King? Oh, the Kingsman. I'm going to wait until it's on Disney Plus. I like the first two. I'm not really 100% sold on this new one. Stuart says, do you think Disney should do a fly on the wall documentary around the Disney parks, or do you think they prefer to preserve? They have done some. I mean, the problem is, and this is my kind of issue with them doing, I don't think they would give us that. It would all be so fluffy that it would end up becoming, probably they wouldn't never allow anything to be like go wrong, or they'd be trying to preserve stuff, and I feel like it would be really boring because it would be unrealistic. That's my one thing with Disney sometimes with doing these kind of things, is I don't think they can be open enough to allow for there to be issues. There might be a technical problem, there might be an issue with something, and I don't think they want to show it. I mean, I like watching things like Heathrow, which is all about Heathrow Airport. But they need freedom. And I don't know if Disney would allow them to have freedom to do that. Stephen said, Encanto, Big Frozen now in the UK. We don't talk about Bruno was #1 today. Update. Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno is definitely my favorite song. I also do like the Under Pressure one. I think that one's great. My VCR still works. There's this free Zoro series right now in development, the Hacker Zoro, the Gender Swap one, and the Disney. Yeah, there's definitely. I know about 2 of them. I didn't know about the Hacker one. Joe said, what movies are you most excited for this year? Personally, can't wait for Doctor Strange, Multiverse, Sonic 2, and Turning Red. So, Avatar 2, Doctor Strange, 4. I'm looking. I want to say Black Panther, but I'm kind of a little bit like, I don't know what's going on there. But 4, Doctor Strange, and Avatar 2 would be probably my 3 ones that I'm kind of looking forward to the most. Let's see what here we've got. As Morbius said in the Matrix Resurrections, nothing comforts anxiety like a little nostalgia. With the current times, can't fault Disney for using nostalgia. Yeah, I do think that they are using nostalgia in the right way, but they have to be careful that they don't end up just becoming that. I do think like Disney got the advantage of like FX and like other ones doing a little bit more, which I think can help. But I definitely feel like that really does help. This light keeps flickering, so I don't know what's going on with this light. I moved it the other day for the Lego castle, and it's not that one. That one. There we go. So I just turned off one of the lights. Josh said Pepsi then sold the ships are scrapped. Not quite sure what you mean on that one, but nevertheless. Tracy said the new Zoro series will have to live up to my favorite version, aka the 1940 film with Tyrone Power. He was amazing. Wow, that's a deep cut. 1940. Steve said, Sony working with Amazon Prime got Sony Film First on Amazon like did. Yeah, they are. I think they just sold that one because of the cinemas all having issues and stuff. Let's see what else we've got here. Jason said, any idea why Eternals is available on Disney Plus in enhanced IMAX, yet it's not available on the Blu-ray 4K? It might be that, I mean, I don't know why they've not done that. Maybe there's a technological issue. I didn't like the 4K, also the IMAX version of Eternals. I feel like that on there was, I didn't like the jumping. I liked it with Shang-Chi where everything was filmed in it. Maybe there's a technological reason of why they can't do it for that. That's definitely a thing. Just that I agree with you. I think Disney is too controlling of these sort of things. I think it's a mockumentary. I'd love them to do a mockumentary, but yeah, I definitely feel like they would struggle to be let loose and let that be free. I don't know if you watched that the Animal Kingdom one. It was so fluffy. I don't think they could do it. Noxwave said, I watched the channels on Disney Plus and it keeps annoying that the screen goes wide. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. There was definitely a lot of people saying I thought there was something wrong with it. So yeah, I didn't like that whole aspect to it. Matt said they need a Fox and ABC brand in the US to sort stuff out around the world. They need to sort out the Star Plus. I hit. The thing is with Star, and I'll bring it up now so you can. So if you're an American, so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to go into Disney Plus now and just give you an idea of what we mean when it's a little bit full. So obviously here on the front page, it wouldn't really make too much of a difference, but here in the Star one, we've got these series and we've got these movies. So these are all like recent stuff that's dropped in on Disney Plus recently. And they're recently added. Obviously, we can see what that's not too much of a problem. But we've got adult animation, we've got romantic comedies, we've got Star originals, drama. It's like here with these movies, there's too many action movies to fit into this line. So you're only really getting like a little selection of stuff. We've got the horror in here. So they got the different genres. So it's not so hard to find stuff. But it's not enough. I mean, if I go in here into like the movies, and this is just the action ones. It's such a you're not going to be able to see everything on that front page of like in Star because there's just too many things. If you're looking for like Australia or Armageddon, you're not going to see that on the front page or anything like that because there's just too many stuff. There's a lot of stuff in here that just gets lost because there's just too many movies in that section. I don't think they've got to watch how they do it with the hubs, but I just feel like got some hubs that will just make life a lot easier in terms of finding stuff. Because like I said, this Star branding is just, if you went in here and you had some different options, maybe FX 20, you could have a bit more of a browse. It's kind of hard to find stuff now, of what's on Disney Plus because there's just so much. Especially, like it makes sense to have Star as a brand for stuff that they don't own and stuff, but they definitely need a lot more on there. Right, so let's have a look here. So, okay, there won't be a Fox brand on Disney Plus since Fox is a separate company. However, Fox do license out some. Yeah, so example for that is let's have a look here. So I think like The Big Leap is a show that airs on Fox in the US, but is actually made by 20th Century Studios. So that on there, I don't know if they're not going to make a Fox section, but I mean, just a 20th Century Studios version would be fine enough. Let's finish off some of these last questions. So Dana said, any news on the Sony deal? So this is the thing with the Sony deal. So the main deal covers some theatrical releases from 2022 until 2026. So that's obviously only just kicked in the last week. And the big first movie will be Uncharted, which I'm looking forward to because I enjoyed the video games. but we wouldn't end up seeing that on Disney Plus for probably at least 2 years, because it has to go to Netflix first. So it's going to be a while until we see the new movies, and that's only in the United States. That's not internationally. Now, according to the press release, it said that the deal also grants rights to a significant number of Sony's iconic library titles, including Jumanji, Hotel Transylvania, and the Marvel character movies, including Spider-Man. And this gives Disney control. They can put them where they want. And the agreement provides Hulu with access to a significant number of library titles from June. So there's probably already a lot of stuff on Disney Plus already. I think the thing we're all looking for is Spider-Man on Disney Plus. I don't know why they didn't get it on there already, but primarily the main deal really only just kicked in the last week. Connor says, do you think that Lightyear will play in cinemas? I think due to Toy Story. Yeah, I definitely think that Lightyear will be going to cinemas. Connor says, I was really intrigued by Ethan's article regarding Disney Infinity. That's a series I really dig, especially with the multiverse becoming the latest craze. See, Ethan asked me to do this one, and I obviously said yes, because probably a lot of you don't know, but way before I did What's on Disney Plus, we actually used to have we used to do a website, Vinimation Kingdom, which was all about Vinimation figures, which are the ones all in these glass cabinets over here. And then we kind of moved on to doing Disney Infinity, and we were doing lots of Disney Infinity content. And that's how I kind of got into doing more and more videos. Me and James actually used to do a Disney Infinity and video games podcast. And that's all. So when Ethan said about doing the Disney Infinity thing, I'm like, yes, because I actually feel like it would be a great way of bringing in lots of different characters. And if they're in a toy box environment or in a kid's bedroom, maybe like Toy Story, they can get away with doing stuff that's a lot more free. I don't know if Disney would allow them all to mix together the same way, because there's a lot of controlling issues with the video game. But I'd love to see them kind of mix things up. But they have to make them, they all look the same. They're still carrying it on with the toy box figures. I'd love to see them do something a little bit more with that one. CL Tan said, with the Bob's Burgers movie still committed to a theatrical release, do you think that how it performs will determine the future of animated movies, since it's rated PG-13 in the US? I'll continue on. I think if it succeeds, it might inspire the industry to move towards more mature content where animated theatrical releases are concerned, yet I wouldn't be too optimistic, because the cinema rated Simpsons movie and also the R-rated Sausage movie didn't spark an adult animation movie boom. However, there's a good chance of it coming. So I definitely, for me, I feel like with the troubles with R-rated movies and stuff like that is you're then going under a very specific audience. I mean, I remember going and watching like the South Park movie when that came out, and I loved it. So they do have a big hit here and there, but I think the problem is it limits the audience who's watching it. I don't think like adult TV, like based on a movie, so based on like a TV series, I'm not sure what Bob's Burgers is going to do. I've never watched an episode of Bob's Burgers, so I don't really know yet. And it's kind of like Family Guy, and these have all been done. They've been around for like 20 years now, so I think like the edge of them has gone. I really enjoyed Sausage Party. I thought that was really good, but I think they can't just being R-rated and being risky isn't enough anymore. There's got to be a reason for it. I definitely feel like that's got to be the way for it. I think I just feel like they've got to do something a little bit different with that one. Right, okay, so that's all the previous done questions. So we've got about another 6-7 minutes left live, so I'm going to try and get through all of these live ones, but keep carrying on putting them in. Joe says, when do you think Spider-Man No Way Home will be available to purchase for digital? I'm guessing maybe another 2 months, 3 months. I think they're going to hold off a little bit more because Sony's still making a lot of money with it. Sony will work with anyone to sell their content. Sony will deal with anyone to make money, and that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's being looked at in a bad enough way. Of Sony have picked up a system where they're just going to sell it to everyone, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I honestly don't think that's a bad thing. Steven said, I hope Paramount Plus hurries up on Sky so I don't have to watch Star Trek Discovery on rubbish Pluto TV. Yeah, I haven't watched the new Star Trek Discovery since the first season. I've kind of fallen out of that one. Yep. Okay. They won't. Yeah, we've done that one. Zoro said, my favorite scene from the 1940s Zoro is when they cut the candles with the sword. It never ended. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that one. You definitely can't go wrong with Ole. Jason said, is Disney Plus likely to increase its annual price from February 2020? It's not heard anything yet. I still have the initial annual price. Okay, because did it? No, it launched. No, it launched the year before. I wouldn't. I'm not sure if they wouldn't. If we would get one in February. I think the problem is with the US is they probably can't do that right now because of how Disney Plus is being looked at in terms of Wall Street. I think it would go down a bit of a lead balloon. I think if they are going to do if they want to do a price rise, they're going to have to do what they did with Star here in the UK of that big announcement of, oh, there's extra stuff is coming. That's where they can boost up the price a little bit more in the US. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if we suddenly got a message going, oh, the price is going up $1 tomorrow or going up $1 next month. Noxwave said, are you a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender or Legend of... No, I've not watched either one of them. I've not watched either one of them, so I don't know. Josh says, any clarity on whether the National Geographic channels are being closed in the UK? All I can say is I did reach out to Disney for this. I did get a response back with a list of everything that's coming to the National Geographic channel in February. So as far as that looks like, it looked like it's still going on ahead. How it's working, I don't know. I mean, I've been looking every day to see what's going on with the National Geographic channel here in the UK. It definitely does seem a little bit odd. I'm just going to have a look here now. National Geographic. And see what, because I noticed on the website we've still not got the actual thing. So maybe they are going to do something. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me, and they've just not announced anything yet. Looking here on the UK one, it's still showing as it's still showing here as nothing past that date on the official website. So yeah, on that first, there's nothing in, after that first date, it goes to 4, and then there's nothing. So at the minute, it's still a bit odd. So James, so my VCR, so how did you mean? So we met actually through Disney Infinity. He actually worked for or he was helping on a different Disney Infinity website, and Abe, who I used to do the website, he met with James at the D23 Expo. I think that was at the 2017 or there might even before that. So they'd met before, and they kind of met, and we met each other through that online. And I needed a new co-host, and so I asked if anyone knew it, and that's how we kind of just met through like Disney Infinity of doing bits and pieces through that. And then we've literally been doing our podcast together for we were doing the What's on Disney Plus one for 3 years, and now we did the video game ones I think for like 2, so we've been doing it like 5 years. So actually we were hoping we will actually meet up at the D23 Expo this year. Steven said, is Nightmare Alley on a 45-day window? They have not said how they are doing the windows this year. We don't yet know if there is a 45-day window. More likely maybe in the US because of it got released last year, but here in the UK it doesn't even come out until next week. Then he said most luckily, that might be a reference to something else. Here we go. So Knoxway said, have you played all the Kingdom Hearts game? Are they worth playing? I never played them before since Disney Plus was working. I have played them through. I've completed 1, 2, and 3, 0.2, and I've also played some Dream Drop Distance. So I've completed like 4 or 5 of the games. Yeah, I enjoyed them. I would say you can play them if you've got an Xbox. They're all on. I think they're all on you can get the collection. I would say just play through 1, 2, and 3. Dream Drop Distance is a lot of fun as well, and then do 0.2. But yeah, I definitely would say if you like Final Fantasy games, give them a go. Zoro said, I hope we get the 1957 Zero Classic. I hope they come back in. Steven said, Fantastic Beasts will come out in April, and then Morbius will get. Maybe I think they're very different audiences. I I kind of think like Fantastic Beasts is not quite where it used to be. Matt says they should move ABC shows like Grownish and Wonder Years to Disney Plus in the US. Definitely, 100%, especially when they are about, especially Wonder Years. I mean, that's literally about a kid at school. Nox says, what shows are you watching now on Netflix and Disney Plus? So I'm currently binging Seinfeld again, even though I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. We're watching Afterlife. On Disney Plus, I'm trying to think what I'm watching. I am watching a show right now which is coming out next month, so I can't say any more on that one. We're also watching, I watch Mixed Dish every week. Big Sky is another one that we're watching. Obviously, the Book of Boba Fett. I think what else. I kind of fell off of Big Leap. I kind of just drifted off that one there. So those are my main ones. I think there's been a lot of shows lately, so that's the main ones. Kaylee said, since Viacom CBS is utilizing Nickelodeon to simulcast an NFL game, I hope Disney does the simulcast with Disney Channel in the future. I think Disney seem to be going the opposite way of using Hulu. They seem to be doing that, and they can maybe put it on ABC. I'm not quite sure why would they want to use the Disney Channel. Maybe Freeform might be a bit of a better fit. Stuart said, I saw an article on Disney Plus from 2018 saying that National Geographic are producing a Hidden Figures TV show. Haven't heard anything. No, that's the first time I've heard of it. I'm guessing if it's been that long, it's gone. I can't see that one going in. Right, so I'm just going to do these last few questions before we head off for the day. Zoro fan says he guesses that the new Zoro series will be released between February and April. Probably next year. I can't see them being released. I don't think they've even started filming yet. Knoxwave, are you looking forward to the HBO Last of Us series? Yes. I mean, I've played through the first game. I've played through half the second game. But I got to a point where I was then playing a different character, and I wasn't really and I kind of drifted off the game. I don't know what Last of Us, I kind of dropped off like halfway through the game and haven't really gone back. Sky TV must just be like Sky Pay Channel left. Or yeah, they're kind of slowly closing them all down. Joseph, will the Fox new TV show Cleaning Lady ever be on Disney Plus internationally? Not sure. Not sure what they're doing with that one. Right. On that, thank you much to everyone that's joining in on the live chat. Thank you very much to all of our new members. Thank you very much for joining. As I said, next week we'll be back with another YouTube or another live Q&A. I'll pop up a question in the community feed and in Patreon as well for new questions in the middle of the week. So make sure you keep an eye out for that one if you are a member. Again, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Disney Plus news, where I'll be going through all of the news over the weekend and stuff. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. And I shall see you guys soon. Later.